2008 is a huge year for disability sport. In the coming months, Attitude's going to bring you up to speed on the Paralympics.
Today we give you some background so you understand the massive machine behind our athletes. They're driven, they're passionate, they're competitive. They're the faces we're going to see on Attitude this year.
Something inside me that I want to repeat and really hungry for.
Sophie knows after the Christmas break she'll be working damned hard.
Jane's blind and she's riding for trying to get the Beijing Paralympics. So this is part of a...
Try, and I am getting there.
You're getting there.
I'm going there. I'm not trying.
Right.
I want to get to Beijing. If I break in half, I break in half. I'm prepared to do that. I'm not prepared to walk away and say, well, the injury needs more time.
We're 6 months out from the Paralympics in Beijing. An elite group of around 50 athletes have been giving their all in their bid to reach Beijing. Paralympics New Zealand has been working behind the scenes with many of these athletes since 2004. New Zealand has won 10 medals in Athens. This year, the goal is 13 medals.
With 2008, it's a whole different ballgame. There's an expectation on the athletes they will take up these services, they will act in a professional manner and in a high-performance environment. And the other side of that is, we're not just taking athletes to Beijing because we've got space. We're taking athletes to Beijing that we think will medal or go pretty damn close to medaling.
There's a fresh energy behind the Beijing Paralympic campaign. The big change has been how things are driven. The government allocates funding to Spark, or Sport and Rec New Zealand, which in turn allocates money for elite athletes to PNZ, or Paralympics New Zealand. This creates a closer relationship between the athlete and PNZ. 2 years ago, Chris Bullen from Spark was appointed as High Performance Consultant working with PNZ. It was a key decision and part of a plan that put the spotlight on disabled athletes.
In my role as a performance consultant with Spark, I don't treat Paralympics or Paralympic athletes or coaches any differently from any other sport. It's just high performance. And they've opted to be in, and every other country has upped the ante in terms of performance. So people are faster, fitter, stronger. So it's a highly competitive environment, and to win medals in 2008 will be a greater challenge than to win medals in 2004.
Spark will deliver just under $1 million to PNZ this year. How is that money allocated to individual athletes? Well, it's a complex exercise. It's based on athletes' planned build-ups and performances.
Although there's a 4-year campaign, we invested in 2005 for 2 years, pending a review at the end of 2006. We had multiple successes at World Championship level in 2006. Spark determined that the investment would continue as planned. And so, yeah, everything looks to be pretty much on track.
How do they decide who gets to go? It's tricky. And while there's a lot more money this time around, there's also a lot more pressure for the established athletes to perform.
If we've got an athlete who's currently ranked 4th, and they're increasing at about sort of this angle, but the athlete that's ranked 3rd in the world is increasing at a sharper angle, then we're never going to catch up. What we need to make sure is that our athlete is A, at the bronze or better, or is tracking in such a way that they will exceed that bronze medal. Sounds complicated? It's pretty simple when you see it. And the graph going up, that's...
Yeah. Are you happy with the way how the graph is looking?
As an athlete, what do you need to win a medal in Beijing? And that can vary from things within their home life, within work, if we're talking prosthesis or wheelchair equipment, time in a pool, a number of things. So it's saying, what do you need to win a medal? And that can change, etc. And then saying, right, how do we deliver that? And part of that comes from the support services. So working with them and saying, okay, you need this, who are the best people to deliver it, ensuring they come on board. So each athlete and coach has their specific support team and they're all working towards the same goal.
Runner Tim Prendergast opted to base himself in London so he could compete around Europe. Tim won gold at Athens.
Oh, he's got stuff in reserve. Powerful stuff from Prendergast. He runs away from the field. In fact, McGregor might get beaten for silver. He is, but Prendergast wins it.
and I must have watched that tape 100 times, seeing the 30,000 people stand in that stadium for me to hear the national anthem of New Zealand is just still sends tingles up my spine. It's an amazing feeling that went so fast, kind of like the wedding day, really, and something that's infectious, something inside me that I want to repeat and really hungry for.
Jane Craik was a medalist in 2000 and was 4th in 2004 in Athens. Last year she used her funding to go to England for the World Para Dressage Championships. It was a major event in her build-up. There are many factors that complicate an athlete's ambition. In Jane's case, the most important issue was finding the right horse, not insignificant for a dressage athlete. She bought the horse in the Netherlands on the way to the competition.
It's been quite stressful. Knowing that you have to buy something, number one, otherwise you have no horse to ride, but also wanting to buy the right one, not wanting to make a mistake.
A poor performance could have impacted on Jane's funding. As it happens, she met the qualifying standards, but that doesn't guarantee her a place in the team. And so, with all these athletes, the pressure's on.
I think the team is very well prepared. Some athletes are more prepared than others. They're at different stages, but certainly a lot of the systems that we put in place are starting to pay dividends. We've changed the way a number of things have been done. Sometimes we've changed coaches, we've added support people, we've looked at critical success factors. That takes a while to put into place, and I think we're starting to see the benefits. I think the team is well prepared, but there's still a lot of work to do.
In September last year, 4 New Zealand athletes flew to Taipei for the International Wheelchair and Amputee Games. The event was most critical for powerlifter George Tamaru, a guy with loads of potential, but who hadn't quite been delivering on the promise. He's now got a new coach, a new training regime, and things are looking good. George needed to lift 227.5 kilograms in Taiwan to qualify for the Paralympics.
You can do this, mate. We've done 227 here already. We hit 225 easy in Auckland a couple of times. Get it on the first attempt, okay? Make a day easy.
I can't believe how nervous I am for this guy. This is intense.
Let's go, George. Easy weight. Arch, pause, explode.
To me, that's exciting because that means that the athletes have really embraced what they've had to do and it's having a positive result. The big thing that scared me was our athletes were doing pretty well anyway. We come along with this fancy new system and all these, what happens if we muck it up? And they're worse than they were.